Got some dumpster dive action for you today. I'm gonna do a round trip video. Round trip videos are where I take a load of scrap to the scrap yard, scavenge my way back to the storage unit. I know some people aren't gonna be happy with me scrapping some of this stuff, that guy in particular, but I'd like to keep it, but it's cool, but I really don't have a use for it. And it is metal, therefore it's money. Down in the description, I will link the playlist to these round trip videos. Basically leave with a load of scrap to the scrap yard and return here with a load of scrap to put in the storage unit, plus any kind of treasures and jackpots and sellable and usable items I may find. Let's go find out what this day has in store for us. Run through this real quick for you. I got about a pound or so of communications wire here. Got a little bit of junk wire over here. I'm probably gonna actually cut that end off of there. Some of these bigger ones, but I'll get those 3 off of there. The rest of this junk wire, there's no sense cleaning it up. You don't have to do work you don't have to do, right? With the number 2 insulated copper wires, you got to take off the plugs. This is where I live. It could be different where you live. Got some Christmas lights here. Got an assortment of stainless and aluminum breakage in here. Like that guy. This is be like a dirty piece of stainless here. That shower head's plastic. That docking thing down there is, that blue thing is aluminum with plastic. I'll just let them sort that out, what they want to do with that. And then this is my tin shed. Coaxial cable and some tin, and these are footrests off a wheelchair, and there's like a tin can down there, and then this guy's going with the tin. I apologize for scrapping that, but I'm just can't be holding on to all that kind of stuff. And here I got some keepers I'm holding back here. You saw this out of my last video. This is a cool little guy. I like this little guy. Like a little transformer dude. And then I think this is like a little Bluetooth speaker. I'm gonna hold on to that one. Couple pieces of brass that aren't enough to weigh. I'm gonna hold that back, and then fancy little pen I'm gonna use for myself. A couple ink cartridges. This one's brand new. I locked these up and sold them on eBay. The scrapyard does not take lead. And then I'm gonna look and see what the value of this thing is. A guy bought these out of my video. These are already sold. If you want to buy stuff out of my video, the link to do so is down in the description. Follow the directions down there. Number 1 copper, $3.30. That was almost $10. $10 for that load of junk. Okay, let's get to the real video. Not exactly the first thing I wanted to find in a video like this. But I'll claim it. That's not a bad little piece of scrap. The table was in there too. Did you see that? The piece of metal with the had like plywood or fiberboard in this side of it. I should mention that scrapyard I took that that file thing, that metal storage thing on the, I was apologizing for scrapping. That scrapyard actually has several scavengers that go through that yard, and that yard sells that kind of stuff for twice the price of scrap. So not everything I take to that yard gets scrapped. So that shelf will have that storage shelf deal will have a good chance of getting salvaged by someone else at that yard. I should mention that. In a video a while back, I asked people why all the material is taken off of here, and I should have figured it out myself, but technically you're not supposed to put that kind of stuff in these garbage dumpsters. So thank you to the people that were commenting saying that most likely it'd be apartment managers, I would assume, take it off there so the scrap man can come by and hopefully take it off their hands. So I don't know if that's actually accounts for all of it though, because if that's the case, then why haven't I done it to this one is steel springs. Why didn't they do it to that one? There's steel springs in this one too. Both those have steel springs. You know, why'd they do it to two and not to the other two? So I'm not totally convinced that's the whole story, but that does make sense. I see apartment complexes that throw those in dumpsters and they get wedged down in the bottom, and it's disgusting. They sit there and soak up years of garbage. So oh, you know what? I don't really want a load of tin right now, so I'll just let the the alligator scrappers come and get it. I'm a hot little lizard on a rock. We'll let the iguanas and alligators deal with this stuff. There's the first gem of the day. Think about that, folks. That definitely has some value. It's in nice condition too. It is in good condition. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this microwave here works. I'm gonna take this home and see if I can use it for myself. If you didn't see what I just did there, that box of food was out in the sunlight. Food in hot weather does not last very long, I assure you that. Look at this, I like this little guy, look at it. Half pint. Sharp carousel, half pint. I've never seen one like that. I'm just gonna keep that one because it's weird. Are you bored? You bored? You sitting back there with nothing to do? Hi, Pooch. Uh-oh. They could probably get over that fence if they wanted, huh? Hi, Pooch. Hi, Pooch. That's awfully short fence. And those are poodles. Did you know that poodles are the #1 dog for dog attacks? At least they used to be. I don't know if they've been dethroned or not. With the popularity of pit bulls in the last 30 years. But I seem to remember a stat saying that the poodle was the #1 dog for biting people. That was a stat from a long time ago, so I don't know if that's still true or not. But poodles, you think of them as fluffy and friendly, but they're one of the top attackers. I see you. Well, I know. That's a big bark. I believe you. You tough. I believe you. I'm leaving. Sometimes it has to be done. More trouble than it's worth. You see these big things of tin and you think, oh, it's worth so much money, but it's not. I mean, that might be 70 cents, 60 cents. I saw a comment saying I must be tall, you know, get to the bottom of the dumpsters. No, actually I'm not. The comment was saying where they live, the dumpsters are like 5 and 6 feet tall. This is a 4 foot dumpster. That's a lot of the dumpsters around here are 4 foot to 5 foot. I'm actually hanging completely upside down. When you see me do that, just now when I got those Christmas lights off the very bottom of the dumpster, I was completely upside down. Right, my feet hit this mirror, and my feet were like up here, where the bike was parked up there. And I was almost vertical in there. It's kind of deceiving seeing this stuff on camera. That's an odd cord. I think this has been repaired or something. I've never seen. That's a piece of Romex. That yellow electrical wire they use, except for it's black. It's got a piece of copper in it, and then 2 pieces of #1 insulated copper wire. I don't think I've ever seen a cord like that on a dishwasher. Once upon a time I'd go after that motor. I actually have the nut driver buried under that mess to take that off there, but I'm not gonna mess with that right now. There is a chunk of copper though. I can't go around skipping pieces of copper, or else what would I be out here for?
Did it in the dumpster, sir.
Are you the property owner?
No, but if you want the manager to come over and explain it to you, that's fine.
I was just asking.
I'm the maintenance guy.
You live over here?
All he tells me is to let people know that you can't be digging in the dumpster.
I already know. I don't go in there.
Oh.
I don't know if you know or not, but this has nothing to do with you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you knew that or not.
Apologize.
Sorry, man. Now, he told me a long time ago. Thanks, dude. There's 2 dumpsters back there in that complex. They're off limits. I guess you just heard that. I'm pretty sure the real reason why he turned and walked the other way is because he realized I had a camera on him. I think if I didn't have a camera on him, he would have just stood there and been a rude, belligerent human being. Have you ever noticed sometimes how people's behavior changes when they're on camera? It's rather odd. It's kind of a strange phenomenon because people sometimes, like, they'll just be full of wisdom and truth and power, right? And then they realize they're on camera, and it's almost like a delusion, or I don't know what the right word is, but there's a part of their mind that realizes they're just a nasty loser that's just basically unethical and just kind of just being a terrible human being. Right, there's a piece of their mind that actually knows that's in there somewhere. And it's like the camera brings that out and they're like, oh, all of a sudden they're just a totally different person. Have you ever noticed that? Oh, well, I guess if other people are gonna see me acting like a total moron, I guess I'll choose not to do it anymore. Look at that. Little weed and feed, little grass fertilizer machine in there. And a bike rack, it looks like. Lots of good stuff in there. I'm not gonna mess with that. It's plastic on the cedar. Tin on the bike rack, just cheap. I don't waste my time messing around with lightweight pieces of tin. I think I need to replace my bucket. there will probably be some confusion with what you just saw there. Like, I get it, right? Some people don't want scavengers and dumpster divers on their property. I totally get it, totally understandable, but those aren't the people I'm talking about. That guy was just getting off. He was just basically having fun, right? He wasn't associated with that property in any way, shape, or form. He knew that. I mean, it's not like he just suddenly, unless he's lying, you know. He might not have been a maintenance man either, right? If he were the maintenance man, then why didn't he understand I wasn't on his property, right? So there's all kinds of problems with that guy. Just if you think about it, but those are the people I'm talking about, just basically having fun, right? So you might not know exactly who you're dealing with. Someone could come up to me right now and say, I'm the owner of this property, I'm calling the police. You know, they just might be some person that's had too much beer over here at this little brewery, and they're just on the way to their car, and they don't even live or work around here, right? You run into that kind of stuff all the time. There's people that just I don't know what they're doing, feeling powerful or whatever they're doing, right? Gem of the day. The Gem of the Day award goes to the Line 6 amp. Let's see, Spider 430, Line 6. If you want to Google that and see what it's worth. There's also another form of person out there that'll be really rude and tell you they own stuff and you need to get off the property and blah blah blah. There's also the people that say all that and they're just totally lying to you. They just want this, they just want the stuff for themselves, right? Like that guy. That's possible. He saw me yanking that big piece of copper off there. There's those people out there. There's all kinds of liars and deceitful people out there that'll tell you to leave, and technically they don't have the power to do that, right? They're just some person just like you. Except for they're willing to tell someone a bunch of lies to get them out of there so they can go get the stuff. I've shown that on video before. And so you never know what you're dealing with. That's why you just want to be polite and leave, or be as polite as possible. It's hard being polite sometimes because, you know, people are just full of it. But the thing about it is, just leave. Just leave, right? I'm kind of trained to just get on my bike, right? And get my tires rolling, because at that point I've left, right? And it's just my personal rule. I'm not telling anyone to obey this or do this, but my personal rule, if someone tells me to leave, I'll leave. But at some point in the future I'll come back. Not every case. When I know it's the property owner, and I know for sure I've talked to the property owner and they say they don't come back, then I don't come back. But in situations like that, you don't know. I just kind of go by the loose rule of, if people don't care enough to put a simple no trespassing sign up on their property, like a dumpster, no trespassing private property, if they don't care enough to take 20 bucks out of their pocket and do that, then I really don't think too much of it at that point. If people genuinely cared and put a sign up, and if someone doesn't listen to the sign, then you can just call the cops at that point, right? Because you got a sign up saying it's private property, no trespassing. But anyways, there's lots of different people out there that'll tell you to leave, and a large majority of them might not even have the right or the power, or they're not even associated with the property. So you don't know for sure. That's gonna wrap it up, folks. I hope you enjoyed this little session. And as always, thanks for watching.